Ruben Amorim put out Manchester United's youngest ever Premier League 11 against Brentford, and the game went pretty much how you'd expect it to. However, it doesn't change the fact that Amorim made the right decision, and seeing Amad play 45 minutes and score a goal was a major boost, given our whole season depends on the Europa. Let's talk through the game, any positives we can take forward from it, and the lessons that the young lads will need to learn from Brentford. Another Premier League game, another loss for Manchester United. How many times have we had this conversation this season now? I think that's our 16th loss. And I've seen some strange reaction. I'll be totally honest, I consider it strange after that game against Brentford. And I want to speak about it in this video because I didn't do a match reaction yesterday because for some reason my camera was broken. Anyway, I'll fix it now. So here's the 5 things I think we can take away from that Brentford game. You can let me know whether you agree in the comments. But the first thing for me is the most important. Amorim made the right call against Brentford to make those changes to his team. Resting the likes of Casemiro, of Bruno, of Maguire, of Onana. He made 8 changes. 8 changes to a team which was the youngest ever Manchester United team that started a Premier League game. And despite the fact that we lost, it doesn't change the fact that Amorim was right. And this is the thing I find a bit confusing. Going into the last few weeks, a lot of United fans have felt, mate, sod the league, screw the league, just play the kids, give them the opportunity. And now you're seeing those kids get the opportunity. And then a lot of United fans are angry that the kids were played and that we lost. Had we beaten Brentford, it wouldn't change the fact that it's been an awful season. It just compounds what has already been an awful season. So I think that's the first thing I want to say. I think some of the reaction has been a bit odd. You might say that this is crazy for me to say. I genuinely would probably rather we played kids and gave them the opportunities and came out with losses in these last 3 to 4 games than just winning them and just playing the senior team and taking risks. Because if Amorim played his full-strength team against Brentford and Bruno or Casemiro went off with an injury, then I guarantee there'll be a lot of, in the same way that Delicted, a lot of people will be slating him for that. As for the kids, they'll learn from that game against Brentford. And I think there is value to be had for United in what has been an awful season in the league by giving those young kids the opportunity, by allowing them to learn in a situation they wouldn't otherwise be able to learn. Because they're not going to get Premier League games that mean nothing in a United shirt, which is ultimately what they are now. But Amas, did he make some mistakes? He did. He got beaten physically for this. Was it the first goal? Yeah, set piece. It was awful. As Amorim said there, look, throw-ins and set pieces were a problem for us. Set pieces have been a problem for United all season long, even with our starting strongest senior 11. So Amas making mistakes, Fredrickson making mistakes, and then Obi wasn't really too involved in the game. Amorim after the game with some constructive criticism saying, look, we can probably help him to understand how to use his body more. He's called him naive in terms of how he used the physicality. But all 3 of them should be better, more mature players as a consequence of that game. Again, you can effectively, this is like kind of hunting for a silver lining. But that's why I would just prefer him to play the kids. Now, of course, there were some senior players who played in that game, and it was really good to see Amad not only play 45 minutes, but score. If United are going to win the Europa League this season, Amad is going to play a big part of that. 45 minutes against Brentford should mean that maybe he's fit to start the second leg at Old Trafford. United start early, start strong, get the early goal, get Amad on the bench. I would much rather see Amad start against Bilbao and get taken off than bring him on if we need to chase a game, which we ultimately should not be chasing at any point because we're 3-0 up. Getting the early goal will kill that tie. I'd like to see Amad start. So having him come back. By the way, remember that at some point that we thought that Amad was out for the season. So simply having him back is a boost, but having him back and scoring a goal straight away, even better, man. We need Amad. This team needs Amad. We are a better team with him in. And I'm really curious as to find out whether or not he'll be playing next season as a wing-back or as one of the number 10s. I think he'll be playing as a wing-back. Because as a wing-back, it's not exactly like he scored against Brentford there from the right wing-back position. Scored a hat-trick against Southampton from the right wing-back position. It's not as if playing as a wing-back means that he doesn't have any sort of attacking output. I was curious to see what happens. Another positive I think you can take from that game is Garnacho's performance. And this is a player who I've criticised this season, in the same way I've criticised Casemiro and others before. But he played well against Brentford. And I was particularly happy with the assist for Mount's goal. It frustrates me how little United use early crosses. Because by using the early cross, like, if, for example, Chido, right? You can have a picture of Chido here. You can have a picture of Haaland or anybody else. Our team rarely tries to look for quick runs, early runs, in the box by our central striker. And that is what Garnacho did with that ball in for Mount. Got his head up, saw that he was in the middle, and just it's not an easy thing to do. The cross was great, and the finish was good. But United should be scoring so many more goals like that. Sometimes we overplay it. A lot of the times when the wide players get to that position, they'll take a touch on the ball, turn backwards, and try to pass it through differently. But sometimes firing in the early cross can lead directly to a goal. And I want to see United do it more often. I thought Garnacho's goal was great as well. I still look at Garnacho and I see a player who I think United will be willing to sell this summer if the right price comes in. But United will not be just selling Garnacho for the sake of it, flogging him off quickly just to get some money in. No. If Napoli want to come back in for Garnacho, they have to pay top dollar for him. I thought it was a really good performance from him, even if United did lose. As for Thursday, it really is Bilbao or bust for United. There is so much riding on this game, man. So much riding. The entire season. It won't make the season a success if we do win the Europa League, but it's effectively the same thing as finishing 5th in the Premier League if we finish 17th and win the Europa League. Both of those seasons would have been failures, and both of those seasons will see United playing the Champions League the next season. Amorim knows how much is riding on this. And the fact that I think it's the 5th of May, we're, 16th in the league, and Amorim, largely, among the United fan base, is, I wouldn't say he's avoiding criticism, but United fans are focused elsewhere because we can still get into the Champions League. Because United are one game away from a Europa League final. So I think United fans have been more forgiving as a consequence. United have to win this. Because if they don't win this, then the fact that we have finished 16th and we have lost 16 games into the Europa League is there's going to be far more spotlight on that, and correctly so. But that's just sort of my thoughts on the game. It was what I expected it to be when you make 8 changes and you put United's youngest ever Premier League team. I just find it a bit weird that some United fans are sort of complaining that we played the kids when asking for the kids to be played. And I don't even think we would have won that game, even if we played with our strongest team. I think so anyway.